If you look at the scripture from Micah, it's a replication of the Nigerian situation. We lie with impunity. Put a person in your shop to be your shopkeeper. You know what will happen. The person will open a shop next to yours, while yours will collapse. We are into faking. We are faking things. Whether you call yourself an academic, the academics lie, but it's just that we cover our lies with grammar. When we tell the lies, it will be so beautifully told that it will look like truth. So we can replicate all these things, but there's a story there's something I want to raise about it that we can actually make a difference. It doesn't have to be like that. Now, it takes only 3% of any group to transform a country. Only 3%. If you see that a country is doing well, it's just a little bit of the population. It can take only this chapel to change the story of the University of Ibadan. It can take only the University of Ibadan to change the story of the whole of Nigeria. If it is not happening, it means that we have failed. You and I, we have failed. We don't build a nation by joining in the world, because the scripture from Matthew says that we should be the light of the world. But how can we be light if we ourselves are darkness? How can we be salt to the world, seasoning the world, if we ourselves have lost our tastes? Because we are divided. Even in this place, we are divided. We are basically divided along tribal lines, along class lines, all kinds of lines. And that is just the truth. If there's a problem outside, we bring the problem to the chapel. We are APC, we are PDP, we are obedient, or we are here. And everything colors what we do, not the love of Christ. So where is the brotherhood? Where is the relationship? Why am I an Edo first in the church? Why not a Christian first and then an Edo person second? I'm not saying forget your culture, but all these things we are killing ourselves. We are a fractious nation. Things are not going well. And the reason it's not going well is because the church is not asserting its authority. And I will explain to you. So you see, what is a nation? That's the question you should ask yourself first of all. What's a nation? The nation is you, seated here. The nation is your neighborhood. The nation is in your office. The nation is in your village. There is no other nation. The geographical space called Nigeria is about the people. A bad people will produce a bad nation. Forget about the leadership. Bad leadership will arise out of a bad people. I know everybody likes to say, Tinubu is the one reigning now. It was Buhari who was reigning. Why is it that every government is worse than the previous ones? It's the same thing with the university. It's called a hindsight bias. When the glory of the past is always better than today, something is wrong with us. Something is wrong with us when the glory of the past is always better than today. Nation building is about building people. When you build people, they will build the infrastructure. When you build them, they will build the communities. When you train them well, they will change the business environment. That's what nation building is about. It's not about statistics. It's not about GDP. You know, the economists like to tell me all these models that colonial people have used to subjugate us. You know, they come with all these kind of models. Models are crafts by people, and they are built into in cultural templates. I challenge everything, assumptions and methodologies. I challenge theories. And that is basically, the Christian mind must basically form a template, a philosophy, an ideology, a logic based on his conviction as a Christian. If it is not there, then there's a problem with you. Which means that you are just a follow. So we must begin to question found the basis of what we believe and what we think to be the basis of our problems. I am a public analyst. I look at the issues that we raise, and everybody believes what people say outside. But the primary issue still remains that we are a sinful and corrupt people. And I don't think anybody needs to exclude himself from that. So I have said that the quality of a nation and its people is the quality of its people. To build a nation, you need wise people. People who have understanding and people who have knowledge. With wisdom, a house is built. With understanding, the walls are set up. And with knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious things. There's what is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is basically the perpetuation of mediocrity. And then you see exponential decay in a society where you discover that everything starts to degenerate from top down, especially when... So we shouldn't be having that kind of a situation where there are Christians in a land. The reason we are called out of the world as light is that we can shine so that other people can see us. If you are not shining, there is a problem with you. If you are not shining in your place of work, there is a problem with you. If you are not shining in your home, you have a problem, a fundamental problem. So you have to cure yourself first of all. Because you can't give what you don't have. If you are still stealing, you are still cheating. I'm not going to give you an example because I have eyes, I see, I watch. I see, I watch. When I sit at the back there, I see things. When I come out of the church, I see things. I watch us. And I see that if we were the way we sang just now, believe me, forget about bad politics. You know have you heard the story of the rooster, the cock with the flaming crest? When he sings in the morning, cuckoo, you say, oh, fantastic. You say, what a wonderful boy. Go and look at where he sleeps. It's full of shit. It's the same thing with the native chicken. It will fart and we now throw up a racket. But it's the one who fart. We are in a perpetual struggle for power, competing for advantage. When we have advantage, everything is okay. If once we lose the advantage, the country must go to pieces. That is not the call that we have as Christians. So I'm going to tell you what we need to do. And that's basically the crux of the matter. Well, we must acknowledge some important things. And one of them is that the nation out there is a reflection of who we are. The nation in here. And then the fact that the message of the gospel is the message that builds nations. And that is what being the light. It's a message that builds nation. I have given up on trying to change Nigeria or to change the world because I've realized that the basic change that we need is, first of all, the gospel. The message of the gospel is the message that builds nations. Is the message that transforms the people. The disciple is a nation builder. Salvation is your first call out of the darkness into the light of God to change and to transform nations. If you are not actively building, you are destroying. Christians who obey God build nations. Those who disobey destroy nations. So it's important for us to know that the whole thing begins with the gospel. It starts also with our mission in the chapel. If you look at the mission of the chapel, it says that we are to build the total man, to build the perfect man. And that person is actually a nation builder. Now, whatever we do or fail to do, everyone you affect positively or negatively, every commission or omission, every sin or act of love, every act of lawlessness, every lie, every act of violence, every word we speak or hold back, every person you support, every crook you endorse, you are either building or fail to endorse, you are either building a nation or you are destroying the nation. Every vote you cast You are either using it to build a nation or you are using it to destroy the nation. Now, many of us will complain and we will talk about what happens to us after retirement when we have worked for ourselves while we are in service. But nobody ever comes back to tell us that we did not serve any nation. I'm not saying that it's the same thing with everybody. Oh, please don't accuse me falsely. But some of us, if you go back and look, you didn't serve anybody. You didn't serve any nation. You exploited the system. And many of the students, you cheat in exams. Don't we? Don't you still cheat in exams? Do you do your assignments? Many of us grown-ups we have young people under our charge, we sleep with them. Is that nation building? That's not nation building. So we have to change. You see, in darkness, a little flicker of light is great hope. A little flicker. A small fire you ignite in your neighborhood, and everybody does the same thing. It becomes a mighty inferno. That is what we are called to do. And we need to do it. And I just want us to look at the fact that what then is our social responsibility as Christians? It must be understood. If you don't take anything out of this, of this sermon, I want you to take this. It must be understood on the basics of the gospel and the intersection of faith with the human condition. If your faith is not translated into your work, my brother, you are a clanging cymbal. If your faith is not showing in the way you drive in traffic, you are still breaking traffic lights, my sister, you won't make heaven. You are laughing. You are saying whether you see, lawlessness and sin is a matter of opportunity. You see, the value of the sin is not the opportunity you don't have. The person who has 100 billion and steals 5 billion, and the person who has 100,000 and steals 90,000, which one is worse? Is the person who steals, so if you look at it in terms of percentage, is the 90,000 now? Out of 100, that is 90%. So, we are going to be judged according to the opportunities that we have to make changes and to be able to do things. Forget about your appointing figure, Tinubu Ole, so Ole, and so on and so forth. Everybody is Ole, but you are not Ole. But when you should be working in your place of work, you are reading. You are going up and down. You are putting bureaucratic bottlenecks. So the point basically is that we can't build a nation if we are either replicating the same failures or excelling in them. If Christians stand out and are outstanding, if they stand up and are upright, if they are different or do things differently, the nation is transformed. Doing the same old unproductive things as we do in the church is not going to lead to any nation building. What we are doing is unproductive. So let's start here from the nation here. Let us model a society that works from the chapel here. Many of us have properties, we have things, we have legacies. We are on a journey. Each of us, after 60 years, you are on your way to the airport. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Well, those of us who are above 60 years, we are heading to the airport. Some people are actually already in the departure lodge. Some have taken visa. So the point I'm making is that your legacy, there are a lot of needs in this chapel here, for instance. You have a building. There are old people who are in misery today. Look at us. Our children are all over the place. Those who are here are unemployed. Those who are not unemployed are all over the place doing one kind of drug or the other. Why can't we institute legacies here? Release your house. Release your property. Endow a foundation here to solve a problem through this church so that each church will model a society that works. If we have nothing to show, nobody has any business coming here. Chaplain, nobody has any business coming here if we don't have anything to show. It is when things are working here, people are seeing things happening. They will say, something is happening in the chapel. It's not by politics, it's not by power, it's not by election, it's not by rigging. People will see that their lives are being transformed. These youths, we see that they are experiencing change. Those who want jobs, we see that they are finding employment in the businesses that we are setting up.